These people got married in strange places. This groom is on his way to an altar in the sky. Daredevil Mickey Wilson navigated a slackline above a canyon in Utah.
I was a little nervous about taking the plunge, getting married, changing my life so drastically, but because she and I were able to do this together, there's not a single other girl on the planet that I could do this with.
Finally, he got to the altar. And here comes the bride. She skillfully walked to her groom, and with only steps to go, she dropped to the slack line and shimmied the rest of the way.
I was just focusing on walking out to the net and not letting the wind knock me off.
The 2017 ceremony took place in a net suspended 400 feet above the canyon floor.
I do.
After the kiss, there was no walking back down. Instead of walking back down the aisle, they jumped through a hole in the net, hanging on to a 200-foot rope.
The plan was always for me to kiss her and for us to jump off onto a rope swing, but I looked at her, I said, "Do you want me to pick you up?" And she looked at me and she went, "Yeah, do it."
It was so special. It was right at sunset.
We have to go. Ellie, please repeat after me.
Ellie Denney always dreamed of getting married under the huge oak tree in her parents' backyard in Northern California. And in 2018, she wasn't going to let a raging fire stop her ceremony. So the minister started the nuptials an hour early.
I, Taylor, take you, Ellie, to be my wife.
Suddenly, the fire changed direction. As flames loomed closer, helicopters circled overhead.
And I'm wiping ash off of her veil so that her veil doesn't melt, and I keep wiping ash off my shoulders just as it's falling. It's a very light, almost dusting of snow as it was coming down as we're getting married.
Firefighters ordered everyone to evacuate.
We have to go.
The minister rushed things along, completing a 30-minute ceremony in just 5 minutes.
I pronounce that they are husband and wife.
After the hurried I-dos, the bride and groom ran for their lives, and guests grabbed everything they could.
Oh my God, the wind.
When you see flames coming at you, fire coming at you, it's not obviously the most pleasant of experiences.
Everyone made it out safely. Then the entire wedding party drove 20 miles south to a local Holiday Inn Express and did it all over again.
We talked it over and decided that we should renew our vows basically so all of our guests could see it.
Here comes the bride, all dressed in white, down the aisle of an airplane.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Jeremy, you may kiss your bride.
Yep, in 2022, Pam and Jeremy Salda said "I do" on a Southwest flight. So why the mile-high wedding? Jim Moray explained.
Pam and Jeremy had planned on saying "I do" in Vegas. They actually showed up at the airport in Dallas in full wedding attire so they could hop right off the flight and head straight to the chapel where they had an appointment to get hitched. But weather problems caused their flight to be canceled.
We're approached by a wonderful human being that kind of sees our demeanor, and he's like, "Are you guys trying to get to Vegas at a certain time?" We're like, "Yeah, we need to be there by 9 o'clock. He's like, "I don't think you're going to make it."
Turns out that guy was an ordained minister. Since they were going to miss their chapel appointment, they decided to get married 37,000 feet in the air.
Walking down the aisle, literally, everybody's smiling. Everybody was feeling it.
I can't wait to be your co-pilot through life. I'll be the check to your cross-check. And any turbulence, I want to weather it with you.
In March of 2023, these lovebirds stepped off a plane on their way to their wedding, but they didn't have far to go.
We're getting married here at the Houston Hobby Airport.
It's the perfect venue to symbolize their long-distance romance.
We have met in the Houston airport many times on trips that we've come together on.
Navy Lieutenant Commander Silas Hensley worked in Washington, D.C. Laura Mark is an interior designer who lives in St. Louis.
These three things will last forever: faith, hope, and love.
Having to cherish.
So long as you and I shall live.
I pronounce that you are husband and wife. Silas, you may kiss Lara.
After cutting the cake, their first dance, and the bouquet toss,
congratulations, have a great trip.
they hopped right into a plane for the honeymoon.
We got married at the airport.
In 2022, not even an invasion by Russian forces could keep this Ukrainian couple from getting married. Anastasia and Anton are healthcare workers in the city of Kharkiv. Located in the northeastern part of Ukraine, Kharkiv withstood shelling, airstrikes, fires, and human casualties. Yet, amidst the suffering, love won out. Anastasia and Anton tied the knot in a metro station. Among their guests were friends and family, the city's mayor, and people who'd been forced to live underground for their safety. The happy couple also posed for some outdoor wedding pictures. The backdrop, of course, was their city. The damage it had experienced is nearly impossible to avoid. But their union proves a very old idea, that love endures all things. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.